I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Plaggio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond. As we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
On today's show, instead of traveling all over the world like we do sometimes when we're filming, we're going to take you right in my backyard, right close to home. If you're like me, no matter where you live when you're watching this show, you've got some good fishing right close to home, a lot of it right in metropolitan areas. I want you to join Troy Coburn and I as we go to one of those lakes just outside of the Denver metro area, Aurora Reservoir, and show what kind of fishing you can find right in your own backyard. I'd say the Aurora Reservoir is a gem out here though, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
I mean, what a diverse fishery. We're out here, there's walleyes, large and smallmouth bass. And how many people come out here just for the trout?
Most of the people you see out here, I imagine.
Yeah, a lot of, it's a kind of a secret. A lot of people don't realize just what a diverse fishery this is. And don't you think it gets less pressure because a lot of guys with big boats like ours really want to go where they can run the boat. You know, we can't, it's electrics only out here.
Right.
So we're in.
They want to go to Chatfield or Cherry Creek usually.
Yeah, well, even though we're in my big Crestliner boat with a 200 horsepower motor, we can't use it today. So all the gas motors be shut off, it's electrics only, but you can put your big boat on here. The boat ramp is great, drop your boat in. Sometimes you got to work a little bit to land them, to get the boat off the lake, but it's okay. And it's just, you can fish in the comfort of a boat, but if you can't afford a big boat out here, it's a great place to take that little boat because you're not going to have to put up with the wakes of other boaters.
That's right.
Now it can get windy, so you got to be a little careful out here.
Make sure your batteries are charged on your trolling motor.
Yep. But it's just we're a couple miles from the second largest metropolitan area in Colorado, Aurora.
Yep.
Aurora Reservoir. And what are some of the bigger fish you've caught in this lake?
Well, just had a hit. Doggone. See, you got me talking.
That's how I'm going to beat you this time, because you kicked me at Table Rock, and even though I got a little bit even at Quincy, I'm still not ready to let you just move in. So.
Well, you have wipers in here. I've caught them up to 14 pounds.
14 pounds.
And there's largemouth bass in here. I've caught those up to 6 and seen 7s and possibly even 8-pounders swimming around. Smallmouth, there's potentially state record smallmouth in this lake. I've caught several over 5 pounds in the last year. Rainbow trout, they stock a lot of brood size rainbow trout in here. Walleye, there's 10-pound walleye in here. Yellow perch.
What's the forage base here that gives us such phenomenal growth? Is it phenomenal growth, or is it just that there's not enough fishing pressure that the fish are able to get a little bigger?
There's quite a bit of fishing pressure, but the lake has just got super clean water, which is probably the second most important factor to growing big fish. And then this lake is absolutely loaded with small yellow perch. It's got spot-tail shiners and crawdads. Tons and tons and tons of crawdads.
There must be a lot of forage, because this lake certainly is producing a lot of big fish. What you got? You're going to make me switch baits.
I don't have any idea what it is, though. It could be a walleye, a wiper, or a smallmouth.
That's the neat thing about fishing this lake.
Yeah.
Is you never know what you're going to get.
Boy,
it could be a nice fish, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, he's got
it's
some
probably
shoulders.
A big carp, knowing you. No, you fish this lake, you could be catching a walleye, a smallmouth, a largemouth, a wiper, a big trout, And that's just one of the neat things about Aurora Reservoir. It's just full of fish, a diversity of fish and big fish.
Oh, there he is.
What do you got?
It's a smallie.
Ooh, a nice smallmouth.
Nice smallmouth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he's got some shoulders. Zzz. Stretching my string.
Don't you love a smallmouth with a crankbait in his mouth?
No. You got a net?
Yeah, I do. You want me to net him?
Well, he's hooked right in the corner of the mouth. I think I'll be able to get him.
I can net him. I can get the net if you need me to.
Oh, my Lord. He does not want to come to the boat.
Let me get the net.
I'm only using 6-pound test. It gives that bait better action and it lets it get a little bit deeper, but it's a $14 crankbait. So I don't want to horse him.
Well,
come on.
I tell you, it's pound for pound. Wiper may fight more than smallmouth, but there's nothing else I can think of in fresh water that.
There he is.
Oh yeah, that's a nice, solid fish.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And we had to drive how many miles out into the wilderness to catch, like driving in the boundary waters or oh, that's right. We're only about 4 miles out of town, aren't we?
That's right. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Aurora Reservoir.
Look at that pot belly.
Kind of looks like me, doesn't it?
You say that in every show I do with you.
Well, it's because that's.
And I say the same thing. You said it, not me.
I'll tell you, it just shows you, folks, you don't have to take a long trip to experience good fishing. Here we are, just a few miles on the edge of town, Aurora Reservoir, and you saw the size of that fish. It's just a great place to fish. Congratulations,
It's awesome. Okay.
All right, I might have to switch
Let's
to a jerkbait.
get you on the board.
Well, I might have to switch to a jerkbait. We've been trying different baits. When I'm throwing a grub, the wind started to blow, and he said with the wind blowing, more of a jerk-type minnow bait he's had more luck with when the wind is blowing, so he switched to that. I stayed with the grub, and you got ahead of me.
Yeah, and I had a fish on a couple casts before that too, so if I were you, I'd be switching.
I'll probably do that. Oh look, there, the producer of the show's got a fish on. That's Karen. She takes a break from running camera to fish. We try not to let her fish too much because she usually catches more fish than me and it's embarrassing. Well, wait a minute, see what she's got. Looks like she hooked it up on a grub. She's been fishing, taking a break. Oh, it's a walleye. Nice sized walleye. Probably even below average for this lake, but a nice solid fish. Let's break.
Oh!
Is it a suspending one?
Did you see that?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
I've got some suspending
I'm just
baits.
cranking it down, getting it about 8 feet down, then pause it for about 5 seconds, and then tap, tap, pick up the slack. About 5 seconds, tap, tap.
Yeah, this
6-pound test though. I mean, it's getting it deeper, so that's kind of a key.
I got 8-pound on my other bait caster, so
That should be all right.
So I could throw. Well, I got 6-pound test on. I might have a spinning rod, but I think I got a bait caster with 8 on it.
Fish had shoulders, whatever it was. He's got a sore mouth now. There's a fish. Right at the boat.
Oh, that's a nice smallmouth.
That is a nice fish.
You know, I thought you had to drive to Canada to get smallmouth like that. Oh, they pull for their size. You got them on a grub. Let me try to lip them. We won't net them. Let me get mine in, out of your way.
Oh, he's going to deep water.
I'll get down there. That was a nice smallmouth. You know, I bet you there's a lot of people who don't even realize that. I don't want to grab the line too much. Oh,
that's a nice fish. Folks, there.
That's a smallmouth bass. Let me tell you right now. Grub and a jig. You know what? You can travel. I get to fish smallmouth bass all over North America. I fished them in Canada, Great Lakes, Lake Chequamegon Bay, one of the smallmouth factories of the world. Here, take your fish. And I'll tell you what, you don't get better smallmouth than that anyway, and they are just fun to catch.
That's a nice fish.
Oh man, look at how fat.
Look how fat that fish is.
It's a big female getting ready to spawn. We're here, it's April, middle of April, and these fish, the water's about 50 degrees. These fish are just getting in the pre-spawn, I would think.
Yep.
Getting ready to spawn. Aurora Reservoir, just a few miles from where you live right now. You could be out catching fish like this right now. Let's get him, get her back in the water.
Yep.
Way to go, sir.
Oh, that's a toad.
That was awesome.
That's a nice fish.
Awesome fish. Woohoo!
There's bigger ones in here.
You know what, folks, I'm gonna tell you something. Smallmouth, I love smallmouth bass fishing. Smallmouth, when people start to learn what's happening to smallmouth bass in Colorado with Aurora, Quincy, Chatfield, they've put them in 11 Mile,
Yeah.
Pueblo, Horsetooth. Folks, people pay thousands of dollars to go to Canada and fish like this. You've got them right in your backyard, and they're coming on better than they've ever been. They've started stocking the Tennessee run smallmouth instead of the river run smallmouth.
Right.
That's why you're seeing these growth of these fish. There's the lakes that have good forage with those Tennessee smallmouth are going to get big like that. You're going to start seeing state record smallmouth coming right here in the Denver metro area.
That fish right there was probably less than a pound away from the state record.
Oh, I tell you what. Well,
That was pushing 5 pounds, and the state record's only 5 pounds 13 ounces, I believe.
Well, let's get back and get a couple more
Let's
like that.
do it.
Awesome. Uh-oh. You know what? It hit like a ton of bricks, but it's not pulling that hard yet.
Oh, you just wait until he sees the boat.
Oh, those smallmouth are like that too.
He changed his mind real quick.
Oh, I know. It feels like it's got some weight, but it's not fighting me back hard yet.
Is it a smallmouth?
I don't know. We'll find out.
It's going down like a walleye would.
No, it's pulling. No, it's pulling too much head shake to be out. That's no walleye.
Oh, that's another bruiser.
Did you see it? I didn't even see it yet.
Yeah, I just saw it. It's under the boat.
Oh, look at it. Oh, here we go. It's taking line now. Just, whoa.
Yep, smallie.
Oh, man, can they pull. You know, folks, you see this fish, you'd think it was a whale. Can you get him? Oh, I don't want to lose him. He's just barely hooked. Oh, yeah. Oh, my Lord.
Nice fish.
Look at that. I'll tell you what. That's a smallmouth bass, folks. What do you think that weighs?
That's a solid 3-pounder.
Man, I'll tell you. Aurora Reservoir.
Fish.
You know, you can come out here. You can catch smallmouth like this, but you can catch trout, walleyes, perch, wipers. I mean, this lake is just full of, I'm gonna get this big female. This is a big female ready to spawn, so we're gonna put her back in the water so you can get her babies and her, and this fish will be out here when you come out. Man.
Good job, Terry.
Oh, luck of the draw, I think. I'd like to give you, you know, I'd like to get all over Troy and say, I'm kicking your butt or something, but first of all, I'm not. He's caught more fish than me. And second of all, he set up the trip. He came out, he said, here's how we're catching them. Here's the type of flats we're catching them on, or the points. Here's the type of lures we're catching them on. That one I was using just a grub, just a curly tail grub on a lead head, and that's what you caught some. You caught some, what else have you caught them on, Troy?
I've caught jerk baits, suspending jerk baits.
And when you say jerk bait, you're talking about a hard jerk bait, because a lot of people get confused with the soft ones too. But
right.
You're talking about like something like a husky jerk or a spinning minnow type bait.
Correct.
Little grub. You can catch these. You know what? If people want to, Aurora allows bait. You could take a nice minnow on a jig head out here, and they'll be all over it.
Yep.
Minnow this time of the year, the water's about 50 degrees. It'd be great on a jig head or live bait. There's just a lot of ways to catch them. The wind is coming up. I don't know how much longer we can stay out here. We might have to cut today's trip short, but we're going to try to get a couple more before it blows too hard.
Yeah, the fish are biting. It's just dealing with the wind.
Well, I tell you what, they are biting, and there's some beautiful fish. We've got walleyes today, trout today, and smallmouth bass that are just really unbelievable. You know, Troy, to have a fishery like this within a couple miles where people live in Denver and Aurora is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, the size of these smallmouth bass is just incredible. A little later on, hopefully we're going to show you some walleye fishing. The wind is really coming up. We're in a back cove a little bit now and getting across the lake. We may have to cut the day short. I'll tell you if we do, we were out here before during one of Aurora's tournaments, and we rode around in the boat with a ranger and kind of filmed some of the people fishing and talked about the lake. So if we have to leave early instead of showing you the walleye fishing, we may cut to that. But I tell you what, folks, if you live in the metro area and you and you want to get out and just do some fishing, if you want to just come on the shore and fish for trout, Aurora is a great place. You want to fish for the little perch, it's a great place. Incredible walleye population, and you see with the bass population. There's a largemouth are good in here too. We haven't even talked about that.
There's some monster largemouth in here. There's some largemouth in here that go. I'd venture to say there's largemouth in here that are.
You're on. Yours is on.
Give the state record a run for the money. So, anyway, but this is a really good spot right here.
Oh, I know. I'm hooked up.
I just had a hit.
You know.
Oh, I just had a hit and he followed up and got it.
A double. A double.
Oh, you know what? Mine just went under yours.
Chinese fire. It's been a Chinese fire drill all day. The wind is coming up. You know what? We've got to get these fish in because I think. Oh, look at it jump! Whoa!
Oh, yours just went under mine.
Smallmouth bass. I'll tell you what, they do fight, don't they? Whose is bigger?
Well, mine.
We'll see. Oh, if we get him in, we'll see. Man, oh.
Mine's barely hooked too.
That's what I'm afraid of with mine too. Let me get mine. Oh no, come here. Oh.
Oh yeah, you got me beat on that one.
Let's see.
Oh, that's a toad. Look at that fish. That's beautiful.
But those are good fish anywhere. I'll tell you what. Smallmouth.
Look at the gut on that.
Well, it's appropriate that I caught it then, because we kind of match. Green back with a big gut, see? I'll tell you what, the wind is starting to howl. We wanted to show you some walleye fishing. Let's get back in. We're going to put these back in water. We're going to break away and let you see some things we did with the Ranger here another time we were out. Hey, we're out here in Aurora Reservoir today. They're having a tournament. It's their ninth annual. We'll get the information in a minute. We're going to go talk to Rick Mueller, the Ranger here. We're in his boat. We're out here just to kind of show you the fishing experience that Aurora can bring you, so close to a metropolitan area, what a wonderful lake it is, and we're right in the middle of this annual tournament with a $25,000 first prize. Hey Rick, I appreciate you taking us out.
Well, you're quite welcome.
It's really just, you got a great fishery out here. You're going to tell us a little bit about it, and we're out here right now. You got a lot of boats out here. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, we got the $25,000 tag fish tournament. What we have is we released 100 trout, all tagged fish, and one of them is worth $25,000. If the lucky angler catches that fish, they bring it up before the 4 o'clock deadline. We'll call the company. They'll give us the number on the tag, and if that's the number, they collect $25,000. If it's not, why then they can enter it in the contest, and it goes by heaviest weight. And if there's a tie between two fish that weigh the same, then it goes by length. And if there's still a tie, then it goes by earliest entry time.
And there's a number of prizes and activities going on. It isn't just for that that's the big draw, the $25,000 fish.
Correct. We've got between 1 and 4 today. We've got a fun fest for the kids and family to come out and get a chance to win some prizes and stuff, kids games and stuff that just about everybody will get some prizes on that one. So
and this is an annual event.
Yes, yes.
And what are the dates typically?
It's usually about the first weekend or second weekend in May.
Okay, because by the time you see this day will be over, but don't hesitate to come out here next year. In 9 years, has anybody ever caught the $25,000?
Yes, the very first fish, the first 3 or 4 years it was worth $10,000, and the very first year we did it, the guy caught the $10,000 fish.
So how big is the reservoir?
The reservoir, depending on water level, is about 820, 840 acres.
So it's about the size of Cherry Creek,
yeah,
isn't
it's just
it?
a little bit smaller than Cherry Creek, about 40 acres smaller than Cherry Creek. But like you say, we're about 110 feet deep, where I don't think Cherry Creek is probably about 50. So
I don't think there's any water that deep in Cherry Creek.
I think, I saw some figures years ago. I think we're 31,000 acre feet of water, and I think Cherry Creek's about 18.
Yeah, so the volume of water here, and that allows you to have this multi-level fishery that the cold water species can hold over because you've got cooler, deeper water.
It is, it's really great. And Bob Saley wrote something in the paper when we first opened back up in '91. He came out and said, there's really something neat out there. He goes, I couldn't figure out what it was. He goes, and all of a sudden, he goes, I realized I could hear the birds calling. So, in essence, he was talking about how quiet it was, and he really played that part up big on it, and I was really pleased to see that because, exactly. I mean, we're not trying to compete with the other state parks that offer power boating and the other things. We're a municipal water supply. Neither treatment plant can filter out petroleum-based products, so we want to offer something different, offer an alternative. So we have a place to go for the guys with the smaller boats, the electric motors that don't have to worry about getting crushed by the power boaters or the jet skiers. And if you want to enjoy nature, you can come out and hear the birds call.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that peek at Aurora Reservoir. You know, if you live in the metro area or in Colorado, get out and give it a try. It's a tremendous fishery. You know, we're going to give you a peek at some of the weigh-in from the tournament that took place while we were there, and show you some of the fish were caught and some of the festivities. But if you live anywhere close to a lake like Aurora Reservoir, get out, give it a try, and join us next week on Mountain States Fishing. You're going to sort out all the categories after everybody weighs in. You don't have any idea what's going on right now as far as first place or anything like that.
No, I do the lengths and weights, and then I turn the paperwork into the computer lady, and the computer figures it out.
Starting to get them, they're starting to come in now. We're winding down a little after, getting around 3 o'clock. So what'd you catch it on?
I caught a rainbow trout.
Well, what'd you use to catch it with?
I used a worm.
A worm. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. From shore or a boat?
From shore.
See, it shows you don't have to have a boat to fish out here and be in this contest.
That's right.
That's a nice, healthy fish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, over a pound. The ones we've seen coming in only been like half a pound. So.
Oh, really? Wow. I was just excited to catch one.
That's a good fish. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we'll give you the current standings here. We still got a ways to go with people coming in, but the top adult fish is 4.6 has been a 4.6, a 3.8, 2.9, a few more over 2. So there's been 8 youth fish weighed in, and the biggest is 1.08 pounds, and the smallest is 0.332 pounds. So, well, we're getting some fish in. Did you catch that?
Yes,
What'd you catch it on?
I caught it on a minnow.